What the hell is that? Where? What? Oh, my arm! Where's my arm? I cannot shoot! No! Do you like robots? Honestly, almost all of us loved robots when we were young. But times have changed and now the big thin beats have fallen out of favor. Mechwarrior was the most successful series with huge mechs fighting each other. But now the series is almost dead. But in 2019, after a long time, a pretty good Mechwarrior with many DLCs was released. But it is not comparable with the release of Mechwarrior 3 in 1999 that was one of the most popular games of the time. The story is a complete fiction and focuses on the fight between two factions, Inner Circle and Clan Smoke Jaguar. Your goal is to destroy the Clan's mech's factories, starports, geothermal power plant, laser towers and other structures, and of course you have to fight enemies. But most of the time it is not your goal, so it is optional. The game consists of 4 operations that includes 4 or 6 missions. There is a total of 20 missions of varying length, but even the first missions last around 15 minutes. Later missions could take 30 minutes and yes, there is no way to save the game during a mission. And there are not even any checkpoint. If you aren't careful enough, you can repeat the whole mission. And of course, at the end of several missions, there are bosses, so heavy and powerful mechs. Good luck! The missions take place mostly in exteriors, which are pretty boring because they contain nothing more than textures on the ground, water, hills and enemy structures. You will occasionally visit the factories, but they are also not very interesting and the large mechs has problems maneuvering in a small space. And so we get to the control that is extremely complex. Yes, MechWarrior isn't a relaxing game, it is a real giant robot simulation. If you look at the controls menu, there are so many items that the keys on the keyboard possibly won't be enough. Honestly, when I was young, I found most games more difficult to play, but not in this case. This time, I absolutely couldn't get used to the controls, as you can see in the video. For example, you want to turn off the max to cool it down, but what was the right key? Want to target your enemy? Want to zoom? Do you want to? I don't know. There is so many things to do that I don't know all of them. The simulation is evident when preparing for missions. At the start of the missions, you will see an animation of what is happening and what you should do. This is followed by a briefing where you will see a map of battlefield and important points with your objectives. And you have to pick up loot from the previous mission. That means the armor, ammunition, weapons and sometimes even mechs. You only have limited ammunition, so you have to renew your supply this way. But be aware that you only have limited space in your mobile field base, so you cannot take everything. And you have to decide what is important to you. And how to get new mechs? You mustn't shoot them to pieces, but carefully shoot off their leg. And without getting new mechs, the game would be almost impossible to win, because you only have one average mech at the start and you need something better to fight the best mechs. And each mech is unique. First important parameter is weight. Some mechs are very light and therefore agile. You can circle around the enemy and it will be difficult for him to hit you. On the other hand, mechs are difficult to control, so this tactics is only for the best players. For other players, the heavier the better. And also, the heavier mechs can carry more and heavier weapons and more ammunition. But each mech looks different. So each mech has different places to place your weapons and also what type of weapon you can choose. For example, one of the most famous mechs, Mad is perfect for rockets thanks to its huge rocket launchers on its arms. Annihilator, on the other hand, has almost no missile slots, but you can equip this badass with extremely powerful weapons like a Gauss gun or even autocannons. But if you don't want to make any compromise, there is Daishi, my favorite mech because it is a walking fortress and you can choose almost any weapon. There are over 15 mechs, so you will encounter a new mech in almost every mission. There are three types of weapons: energy, missile, and ballistic weapons. The advantage of energy weapons is that they don't require any ammunition. On the other hand, they are less efficient and also produce a lot of heat. After a few hits, your mech must shut down to cool down and prevent an explosion. It mainly includes many types of lasers, but also a flamer. Missiles include many types of short and long-range missiles and ballistic weapons, the aforementioned powerful autocannons, Gauss gun, or machine gun. The good news is that at the end of the first operation, the first wingman will join your adventure. At the end of the game, you will have 3 allies. You can even give them commands, but like anything in this game, it is pretty complicated. Most of the time, they will just follow you, making you the enemy's first target. And sometimes they should shoot at the enemies, but they don't do anything. In the first part of the video, you have seen the fight at the end of the first operation with Aryan. There was the first wingman with me, but even though I was almost destroyed, he did nothing. Very sad. On the other hand, artificial intelligence of your enemies is not bad. They are trying to be on move, so they are not easy to hit, and light mechs even jump into the air. Really cool. Of course, they have no sophisticated strategy. And the last important thing I should mention is mobile field base, which is unique for Mechwarrior 3. In and after the second mission, you can use this base to repair your mech. This is very important because in the late missions you face a lot of enemy mechs, so you won't survive a long mission without regeneration. So protect this base well. On the other hand, you can use it whenever you want, so it's not entirely fair either. But sometimes it is almost impossible to convince these vehicles to repair your mech, so it is not easy to use them. Mechwarrior 3 was the first game in the series that support graphics accelerators. Well, Mechwarrior 2 was extremely ugly, but it was released in 1995, so there was a significant improvement. But at that time there were games like Unreal and it absolutely cannot be compared, mainly due to the extremely simple environment. The music is also quite pure, but both shouldn't be showstoppers. Mechwarrior 3 is an amazing and complex mech simulator where you have to plan your moves carefully or you have no chance to win the game. And what about multiplayer? Well, it is quite simple, just deathmatch and a warrior in teams. But the complexity of the game makes it great fun to try out different tactics on real players. Heavier is not always better as you may not hit the enemies if they are skilled enough. And team match is even better because you have to create great tactics with your allies. So let's sum up pros. Mechwarrior 3 is primarily simulator, so it contains many Warriors mechs and you can configure them like you want. And there are different objectives in the missions. And what are the cons? Environment is extremely simple and the controls of the mechs are very complex. Thank you for watching the video. Next time we will look at the action puzzle platform game starring a beautiful girl who solves puzzles and kills many enemies. And she is not Lara Croft. and she is much more naked. Let's take a look at. I won't tell you. Try to guess and leave a comment. If you want to watch the review of your favorite game, please leave a comment below this video or on our Facebook page. And now we are preparing a special section for your reviews, so if you want to add your review on our YouTube channel, please send it to oldschoolgamesreviews@gmail.com. And if it is good, everyone can watch it soon. So bye and see you next time!